The new BYD Atto 3 has gone from being a car I genuinely told people not to buy to what I now believe is the best value car BYD has ever produced anywhere in the world, period. And that's a huge statement, especially considering I actually bought the original Atto 3 about 4 years ago. Back then, even though I owned one, I'd told people to avoid it, because for its price, charging speed, range, and overall package, it simply wasn't competitive. And if you bought one recently and now you're seeing the specs of this new model, you're probably feeling that uncomfortable knot in your stomach. I would too. But this new Evo version changes everything. Before we dive deep into why, if you appreciate honest, unbiased car reviews that tell you what you need to hear, not what brands want you to hear, subscribe to RLC Auto Channel. Press the bell icon and set it to all so you're notified first whenever a new review goes live. Now let's talk about why this is such a dramatic transformation. Exterior design. On the surface, the design tweaks seem modest. Revised front and rear bumpers, slimmer side skirts, a redesigned spoiler at the top of the tailgate, updated taillight graphics, and fresh 18-inch alloy wheels that look cleaner and more mature. It's a subtle evolution rather than a radical redesign, but underneath the bodywork, the changes are massive. The new Atto 3 Evo sits on BYD's E-Platform 3.0 and moves to an 800-volt electrical architecture. The battery pack is now structurally integrated into the chassis, improving torsional rigidity, safety, and even weight distribution. And thanks to smarter packaging, boot space grows from 440 liters to 490 liters, which is seriously impressive for a vehicle that's only about 4.4 meters long. That's nearly 500 liters in a compact SUV footprint. On top of that, there's now a proper 110-liter frunk under the bonnet, something the previous car completely lacked. Add it all together and you gain 160 liters of additional usable storage without increasing the car's size. That alone makes it far more practical and finally competitive in its class. Step inside and it genuinely feels like a generational leap. The driver's instrument display grows from 5 inches to 8.8 inches, a significant upgrade in visibility and usability. The transmission selector moves from the center console to a stalk behind the steering wheel, freeing up space and making drive-to-reverse transitions seamless while keeping your hands on the wheel. It's a layout many modern EVs use, and it simply works better. The main infotainment display remains a large 15.6-inch screen, but it's now fixed horizontally, no more rotating mechanism, because frankly, most people weren't using that feature anyway. It now comes with Google apps pre-installed, including Google Maps, Google Assistant, and the Play Store, alongside Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Wireless phone charging includes a cooling function, which protects your phone's battery from overheating, a small but important detail. You also get a 360-degree camera system, front and rear parking sensors, heated front and rear seats, and a head-up display. There's vehicle-to-load capability up to 3.3 kilowatts, meaning you can power appliances, laptops, camping equipment, or even essential home devices in an emergency. Safety tech is comprehensive, with adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane departure assist, cross-traffic alerts, collision warnings front and rear, traffic sign recognition, and automated speed limit control. It now feels properly modern, refined, and thoughtfully engineered. Performance and driving experience. This is where the Atto 3 goes from average to genuinely exciting. The previous version was front-wheel drive with 150 to 160 kilowatts. Now the base model is rear-wheel drive with 230 kilowatts, a massive increase. And even that entry version can sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in roughly 5 to 5.5 seconds. That's hot hatch territory. Step up to the all-wheel drive version and you get 330 kilowatts and 600 newton-meters of torque, launching from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.9 seconds, with a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour. That's serious performance for a compact SUV. Importantly, because this car now has that 800-volt architecture, charging speeds jump dramatically. from 80 kilowatts previously to 220 kilowatts DC fast charging. 10 to 80% now takes around 25 minutes, roughly 15 minutes quicker than before, which makes a huge difference on long road trips. Battery capacity increases to 75 kilowatt hours, delivering up to 510 kilometers of WLTP range in rear-wheel drive form and 470 kilometers in all-wheel drive. Efficiency is improved through the integrated powertrain system and a high-efficiency heat pump as standard, helping preserve range in colder weather. Now, there are still drawbacks. Weight is one of them. At 1,880 kilograms for rear-wheel drive and nearly 2,000 kilograms for all-wheel drive, it's heavy for its size, about the weight of a Tesla Model Y, and braked towing capacity remains limited to 750 kilograms. It's not a towing champion, and BYD isn't historically known for sharp handling dynamics, so suspension tuning will be critical with this new level of performance. But the leap in capability is undeniable. Price, pros, and cons, final verdict. If this Evo version arrives even several $1,000s above the outgoing model, it still represents a dramatic improvement in value. Previously, the Atto 3 was one of the weakest among its Chinese EV competitors for range, charging speed, drivetrain layout, and overall execution. Now it could be one of the strongest. Pros? Massive gains in power, rear-wheel drive dynamics, available all-wheel drive performance, true 800-volt fast charging, longer range, structural battery integration, far better practicality, and a more premium interior experience. Cons? Heavy for its size, limited towing capacity, and suspension tuning will need to match the newfound performance. But taken as a complete package, this isn't just a facelift, it's a reinvention. The Atto 3 has transformed from a car I once told people to avoid into one that is genuinely compelling and class-leading for the money. And that's not hype. That's based on what's changed where it truly matters. Let me know your thoughts, and when you're ready, move to the next video on your screen to see which electric SUV might challenge it even further.